How is everyone doing today? It is August 16th of 2021 and I have another pepper that I wanted to try out that I was really excited to show. This one is called the black cobra pepper or the goat's weed pepper. It's classified as a Capsicum annum, which is the most common type of pepper, even though it's the only Capsicum annum that has the furry branches. See that right there? And even the leaves, it might not pick up on camera, have a little bit of fur on them. There's 5 major cultivars or species of Capsicum. The most common one is the annum. The least common one is one called the pubescens, which is a black seeded pepper that's common on the manzano. This is a manzano pepper plant here. You probably can't see it in there very well, but it does have a fuzz on it. Out of all the Capsicum annum, the major variety that most peppers are, this one is the only known one that has that pubescence fur on it, even though it's not considered a Capsicum pubescence like the manzano or the black seeded peppers are. This is a really interesting, unique pepper. The plants get, it says online, about 3 to 4 foot tall. The Scoville units are about 20 to 40,000, but can even escalate above that in the red there. It's called the black cobra because a lot of times, see this green, it gets dark, it turns black really quick, and then it turns red. From what I understand, the flavor on these ain't that great, but this is probably the oldest pepper that we have grown. This pepper species or variety, the black cobra or goat's weed pepper, has been around for thousands of years. There's proof of this plant being around for that long at least. It might even be the ancient parent of any of the other annums that we're growing. But this is the black cobra or goat's weed. The furry leaves and then the pepper sticking up can make it look like a goat too in certain angles, I guess. But a really unique pepper. I've also heard it called the northern Cayenne because it ranges to about Cayenne heat. The flavor on it's not supposed to be that great, and it's mostly just a spiciness. That might be why it's not cultivated or grown more. It comes from Venezuela, is the farthest point it was tracked back to. And I'm trying to keep the pepper videos and tomato videos around 10 minutes long, but this one might be a little bit longer because this is a really unique plant and grow for us. We tried growing it for a couple years and just couldn't quite get it to production. This year it was one of the first ones that we relayed up. We actually got legit seeds for it somewhere, made sure that, you know what I mean, we really pampered it and babied it to get it to this point. It can tolerate a little bit cold better. It's not going to be one that you can winter over unless you're in a really warm climate, but it is one that produces tons and tons of peppers on it. I bet we've probably pulled 10 peppers off already. I have another 4 or 5 indoors that are drying. That's the most use for, is drying them as a pepper powder. I'm not quite sure because the crust seems a little bit flaky. Let me pull one of these off here really quick for you. This is the black cobra or the goat's weed pepper. It's a Capsicum annum, but the only species with a furry plant. It's really soft. A really high producer, maybe not the best flavor or the best usage pepper, but a super unique grow that we've gotten to grow but not produce for 2 years in a row. So this is our 3rd year in a row growing it. Technically our 4th. When we first come across it, we weren't sure which one of the seeds it was from a mixture of seeds that we threw in the ground, but we saw a furry plant coming out. We originally thought it was a Bahamian goat. We knew it wasn't the manzano because it's not the black seeded pepper plant type, but we figured out it was called a black cobra. A really unique plant. Sorry if this video is really long. I'm super excited to grow this one, take it inside, and try one or the 2 of these out. Love you guys. Catch you in a second. Alright, so I'm not quite sure if I covered everything. It was kind of a rush out in the yard there for a second. But let me see if I can get as much out as I can about this pepper before I try eating it, just in case it's super hot. This one's ripening right here. When they do ripen, they ripen extremely fast. This pepper wasn't ripe yesterday afternoon, and it had already come off and been put here, and it's now morning of the next day. So this one right here as well, it just started reddening. By the end of the day, it would be as bright red as this one right here. These are several that we're saving. We're hearing that the most used reason for them isn't necessarily for the flavor. It doesn't technically have a sweet flavor. It actually has a little bit of a bitter flavor. Most people dry them and crush them into powders. Technically, I don't like the more thinner walled peppers. When I crush into powder, I like a more maybe humid powder, you might say, that comes from crispier peppers. Like you would say a courbaki is a crispy pepper, or even a bell pepper is considered somewhat of a crispier pepper. The thin walled peppers create a really powdery powder. It's almost like the granules of it's too small. I don't really like pepper flakes or pepper powder that does that much. And this one's, because of the flavor, it's mostly used to add heat to dishes. But I'm super excited to grow this one. It's probably the oldest or most ancient pepper that we've grown out of our yard. Once again, it comes from Venezuela. All pepper species date back to 3000, at the very minimum 3000 BC. So peppers are known to be 5,000 years old and originated in southern North America and northern South America. So this is one that came from a location where they had originated from. You could almost say that the fur on it isn't unique to it on its genealogy necessarily, that the lack of fur on the other plants are unique, because this is actually a much older pepper than any of the other types we have grown. We just wanted to grow it more for the relevance and just to see something really unique. Whether you call it the black cobra, whether you call it the goat's weed pepper, both are pretty cool names. Being the only capsicum annum in the family that has the fur on it, the pubescence fur on it, is a really cool trait too. Having a hot spicy pepper, I'm guessing that these would probably do pretty well if they were fresh and then cooked into stir fries, but you would have to probably like your stir fries really hot. A lot of the times heat's subjective. So from what I understand, even though this will come out as 20 to 40,000 or 30 to 50,000, which is about the strength of a Cayenne or a real hot serrano pepper, it's supposed to be a escalating heat from when it goes to green to when it turns black. Very short amount of time to almost instantly red. It'll escalate in heat extremely to probably up around the top end of that scale. For reference, about 5 to 15,000 is a mild to hot jalapeno, and this one is 20 to 40,000. But I'm guessing it might have more of a firecracker heat or a lightning strike heat because of the type of pepper it is. We rate everything on Thunder. We don't have any orange juice, so I got some honey sticks ready and some milk.
Oh, you're going for the red, huh?
Let's see if there's much of a difference. When they just first turn black or when they turn red is when they're most used. And this is the most used for them, even though I wouldn't use them the most for this, is the dried powder. If you get where there's not a lot of the inner core stuff or the placenta or the seeds, that's what absorbs a lot of the heat that's in peppers. Oh yeah, instant heat.
Extremely hot?
Yeah, it's lightning heat though. It doesn't feel like it's going to hurt me for very long.
Well, that's good.
So far.
We've never tried these peppers before. And we've tried growing them. We never did get any production from them. I think we started them too late, but this time we were able to get a hold of some seeds, and we started them early so that they would be one of our first ones out in the garden, and we're really excited that we got some production from these. I think that I'll be able to find many uses for these, making my own super hot pepper powder, chili powder, even just putting them in, drying them whole and putting them in soups or chilies. We really like to cook with our hot peppers. We don't generally like to eat them plain like this, but we'll do these little tests for you guys to give you an idea of how hot they are. We're not really big fans of super hot heat, even when we do the tests, but I think we're getting better with them.
Whoa, Nelly, I'm almost back.
UT's got the hiccups. That means it's hot.
Yeah, it's... Whoa. It's like a firecracker. It's really, really hot. It like sears right where it hits, like a lightning heat. The honey is helping really a lot to dissipate the heat, though.
Yeah, from what we've learned when eating hot peppers, the sugars in the honey actually react to the capsicum, and it actually dumbs down the heat a lot. If you've ever had any pepper mixed honey, like pepper infused honey, the spice is really low on the honey, because the honey actually takes out a lot of that, counteracts the chemicals between the honey and the capsicum. And another thing is we use orange juice, is the acids in the sugars in the orange juice actually take the oils away, which helps it to dissipate faster.
Yeah, I'm pretty much good.
Oh, that's good. So just a quick heat, one that doesn't linger too long.
A couple honey sticks and it's gone. I still got the hiccups, that's why I'm not talking as much. It's not like it's roasting me too much, though. Very hot. I'm not sure if it's where it touched the center of my tongue, or if that's where the heat is trying to congregate. But the center of my tongue is really, really, really hot. And I got the hiccups, so it's almost like lightning struck the center of my tongue, and that's where it burnt, but that's the only place it's burning.
Oh, that's good. Is there any flavor? Is it bitter, or?
I was right on the red part, and I definitely wouldn't call it sweet. I wouldn't call it necessarily bad, though. There's a pepper that tastes maybe a little bit bitter or bean-like, called the fushimi pepper. It's a sweet pepper. It has a flavor of the fushimi, but really hot. Possibly even a shishito kind of texture and flavor to it. You wouldn't necessarily call a shishito like really a sweet pepper. It's more of a bean green kind of bitter flavor, but it's really, really good. These are a little more pungent than I thought to save to make powder out of. These are ones that we're going to dry and then we're going to save seeds on and try it as a powder. So if there's anything really, really cool that shows up with that, but really unique grow, really, really interesting pepper. I would recommend everybody take a look into it. It's called the black cobra or goat sweet pepper. It's a few inch, 2 or 3 inch pods that stick straight up off the plant. The plant's furry. Probably the oldest variety of pepper we've grown in our yard ever, so it might be the oldest one that we've seen or will see, but a really, really unique grow, really productive plant, maybe really good for people who like firecracker heat in their stir fries, or possibly a pepper powder that's more of a really dried pepper powder, something you could rub into meats for cooking, things like that. But really good grow. We appreciate you guys' time. This is UT and Angel, and I'll take you outside one last time. Alright, so August 16th of 2021. I am just not used to pepper heats. I don't know if everyone else is just built differently, but I can't handle hot peppers very well. Even though I have a problem with it, we do thunder heat, which is the lingering heat, which it feels like we can't escape, which we associate a lot with jalapenos, and a couple other types have that what we call thunder heat, and heat's subjective kind of. So, and then there's one that's called lightning heat. This is pretty much straight lightning. There wasn't a lot of linger on it at all. I'm not hiccuping anymore. I came straight out to do this piece of the video. It's really cool. Even when we're sitting clear down here, when the light hits this plant right, you can see all the little white hairs glowing a little bit. I'm just bound and determined not to get a good shot of this one. And it's like soft, you can like pet the pepper plant. Really, really neat traits on this one. Really cool name, really cool history behind it. The black cobra goatsweed pepper. I would highly recommend anybody try growing anything at least once, but this one right here is one that's been around for a really, really long time. It's not cultivated or grown a lot. Anybody who likes super spice in their stir fries, for example, or might like to kick up a pepper powder in heat a little bit that they make, or rub it into meats, or sprinkle into soups, things like that. It's a really, really excellent pepper. So it's a Capsicum annum, the most common known, but it has the fur on it of a Capsicum pubescens. And really, really happy to show this pepper to you guys. We've tried it for a couple years, and it's a really unique and interesting grow for us. So a good grow for sure. We love you guys, and we'll catch you next time. Love you. Thanks for watching. Like mini firecrackers, really. Really cool looking though. They're getting really brittle when they dry. I wonder if these a couple of more pungent ones will be better for it though. Yeah, I'm not even gonna mess with the green one. From what I understand, the red escalates to even hotter though. I'm lucky I didn't get clear up here where the seeds are. Yep, that's the seeds. Yep. That was a bad mistake. Wish me luck. Love you guys. Catch you on the flip side.